as always, not financial advice and definitely for educational purposes only. Let me read this to you directly. Treasury Secretary has called the emergency press conference for today at 2 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know if that I'd call it emergency. He's expected to announce historic economic action against Iran. He calls it the begins an economic D-Day. So that'll be interesting. So keep that in mind. That's 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 o'clock Central. The markets could get crazy volatile. And of course, we're going to post our data on our first 0DTE stuff today. For me, it's a risk off scenario with him talking at 1 o'clock because we don't know how the market will act. I will publish the data anyway. And as long as it fits our buckets, you can decide whether you want to take that trade or not. So I will be looking at some butterflies, broken wing butterflies, and 0DTE. If you don't understand that, I will post it live in my Discord, which I just posted the link, and that's the fastest way I can get it to you. I'd post it on Substack as an article or whatever, but it's not going to get to you fast enough. So I'm going to post that live in my Discord. From there, we will review them daily until everybody understands. Right now, I've got all that set up for free for the next couple of weeks, and then it will only be going out to my paid subscribers, but come check it out. I will review the daily trades at the end of the day on Substack. So if you're on the fence, you don't understand, stick with those reviews and watch how we progress and see what our win rate is. That's all that matters. Nothing else matters. So we will be doing that. Let's dive into what we usually look at, which is, and one thing I do want to touch on, this 0DTE data will help my day traders tremendously as well off of my levels. They will show you direction, expected outcome of the day, and where you can leverage into trades and where it's probably not a good place to do that. So if you're, wanting to think that we're at a great support level, and we might be, I will have those percentages on what the SPX thinks about its day. And of course, you can gauge the rest of the market from there. Very, very easy. And we'll work to build that whole picture. Remember, trading is a long game. Take your time, be patient. We'll get there. But I will be posting on 0DTE because just have such great data and great fundamentals behind it. NQ, I told you if you drew this line over on the monthly, that was resistance. I said if it breaks that with some conviction, it's going to continue going down, and it has. If it gets back above that area, you could look for this target, but right now we're looking for that 28,565 on the monthly. I just posted the new weekly levels too. So for my members, you need those on your charts. I posted them about an hour ago. The one thing I will tell you about the QQQ is, let's go to like the NDX, just so you can see it. We're getting in this gap finally. The bottom of that gap is currently about 200 points away. So watch for that. Watch for that to fill eventually. And then we'll make decisions from there. But right now we are in that gap. And you can see we kind of put a gap in the gap, almost an island, but it's not. But so let's watch that and understand that it's there. And that's a real probability, this right here, of filling. And let me just zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about. Make it bigger for y'all. How about that? This gap right here could get filled. So like I said, that's about another 200 points down there or so, give or take. But that's gap to gap. So good chance we could fill that, and we are in the gap now. So take that into consideration. The ES, same. Once we broke R1, we know that we are looking for the downside. Bullish above as long as it holds its support, bearish below as long as it holds its resistance. And you can see once we broke it, we never even retested it. We kind of peaked up and we continued on down. So 75.50 there for the ES, and it has the same gap on the SPX, and I will show you that. That's just an easy way to see the gap. If you run SPY or QQQ, you can see it if you have your after hours turned off. If you have them turned on, you won't see the gap. But here's this. So it's down about another 50 points to that gap, 7,600 for the gap fill. Keep that in mind. It would be 50 points there. So about 76.15 here to 76.20. So we'll see if we get a bounce there and then a continuation down to pivot, and then see if we hold pivot or not. SMH, our old buddy, we've got to know what SMH is doing. Same. And this was that pre-market. I try to go live every day, pre-market. I'm a little behind today because I was putting out so much information, but right here, you have the push. This was pre-market. And I said, hey, be aware, we're right up to this. And ever since, it's been down, down, down. So it was perfect resistance, perfect to a T. So I don't know how I can get any better on these levels that I give you guys. And I have a ton of questions on buying the indicator. And one that I want to solve that's very simple. Once you buy it one time, you have it forever. So keep that in mind. You don't have to pay a subscription. You don't have to continue to purchase anything. Once you purchase it, it's yours forever. So I have had a lot of interest in that, and I have several that already have it, but I do get that question quite a bit. Hey, if I buy it, and I understand the question because you just don't know, like, I don't know how this works if I'm new. So yes, once you purchase it, it is yours forever. So SMH, this was the same day that NVIDIA, and like I said, we're just painting a clear picture here. So it's simple. NVIDIA was here, and I was telling you, hey, when the king is in resistance, pay attention. We get over here, we get red candles, we continue on down. Those two things were a very clear picture on that day. And now we're kind of in the middle. Fall back on your weekly levels and see what they're doing and use that to your advantage. Let's check on gold. Because if you think about it, the weekly levels just kind of subdivide the monthly levels, right? So wherever we are on the month, we're out in the middle of two zones. Those weekly levels subdivide these levels, and then you can use those for support and resistance. That's a very simple way of putting it. So here we go, support, just walking the stairs, resistance gets on top, and now we continue towards the overshoot. It's extended. That doesn't mean it can't stay extended, but it's got green candles, which are beautiful. And with the indicator, you do get the momentum candles, which measures momentum on a much higher time frame in a very specific way. So that really helps you cipher what we are doing, because gray, we're just consolidating. Green, we are going higher. And I also will be giving my 0DTE guidebook to all my paid subscribers and anybody that has this already, the indicator. So a lot coming your way. If you are interested, please just reach out to me through Substack. That's the easiest way to communicate, and I will assess what I can do to help get you going. Let me see. The NQ Gold, I want to look at oil. See what kind of day it's having. Down 1.54%. Trading around. Imagine that. Perfect bounce. Perfect resistance. Pay attention to my levels, please. Mark them on your chart. These monthly levels are posted at the beginning of every month for you. Mark them on your chart automatically. Just go out and put them on whatever your trading style is, as far as whatever ticker you trade. If you needed a different ticker, let me know, and I will get you those monthly levels. Not a big deal as long as you're a subscriber. I love helping people out. So if not, I'd have to post, 500 different ones to keep up with everybody. So just let me know, and I'll take care of it. So yeah, oil right up to resistance. We'll see how that plays. One name that we have been monitoring that I won't have levels on, but let's talk about it. USO, biggest trade ever in its history. Oh, never mind. I do have levels. I'm sorry. I didn't think it had enough data, but it does. Biggest level in its history, 127.44, biggest trade in its history. And you can see really from this level what it's done, right? So was that a buy or sell? Right now, it strongly appears that that was a buy. So that would be an indication that oil is maybe going to have some problems in the future. I hate that announcement is today, because that really throws a wrench in the 0DTE, because that's a risk off day. If somebody's having a big press conference like that, that's has to do, especially with economic warfare, we've got to be very, very careful there. What precedents that he sets today, as far as how to use financial tools against the country and what that could mean for the future and how the market interprets that. So I don't like it that much. I really, I'm not into it. So we've seen SMH, what kind of day it's having here. Let's look at the other big dogs. So it's down 3%. So it's not having a great day. DRAM down 7%, having a bad day. So that's why the NQ is struggling. Let's go look at the mags. Please tell me the mags are not green. Please tell me. Okay, they're not. They're flat. Because that's been the game, you know, like, oh, we'll run money out of SMH and DRAM and run it into the mags. Then we'll go to the Dow. Then we'll come back to SMH, and then we'll go to DRAM. It's been very painful. So because it just chops, and they're just professionals at doing that. They will have a big move spooled up here shortly, and we will be here to capitalize on it. Yeah, so the Dow's up 100 points today. Like, get out of here with your antics of holding everything, chopping everybody until they're exhausted. Like, oh my gosh, don't do that. Wait for levels, big levels, and use them to your advantage. IWM is down today, which surprises me. I figured they'd have the Russell up. Let's go look at a name like Tesla just for curiosity, see what it's doing. Okay, it's having a rough day. SanDisk, SNDK, is that what it is? Yeah, it's a DRAM name, down 11%. Looky. Remember, we're going into seasonality that's very volatile. September is, if you look at the seasonality, especially on a midterm election year, can be hard on the markets. So let's be aware of that. That doesn't mean that we know what's going to happen or know that we can do whatever. What it does, so we're aware of that. We buy our levels, we take our prices, and we scalp our money, and we go on. We leave the casino. Don't let your ideas get influenced by that. The other big dog that we've been following very closely, looky. Like I told you, if it gets above this level and holds, watch out. And like I was telling you down here, when the VIX is this low, there's only one way for it to go, and that's up. It's up a couple dollars from there. It's up 5.68% here today. I'm not here to say, hey, I know everything, because I definitely don't. But my levels help me understand where it's important. And right now you can see the importance of this level for the VIX, right? How many tests have we had? 1, 2, 3, 4. If you don't understand the VIX, if the VIX starts going parabolically higher, there's a lot more fear getting priced in the market, and that usually means the indices are screaming much lower. So we will keep an eye on that. The other thing that we will be watching, and let me see if I can get this on a bigger time frame. Let's take a peek. Yes, so this is where you want to start buying the market and knowing that you have a huge level to help you. So when this VIX explodes and it gets to a level, well, guess what? When the VIX goes down, the market goes up. So we got to know these levels, both sides. Let's keep an eye on that. Please pay close attention. And I will be getting the 0DTEs, at least the information out today, to my Discord. I will post it in this Substack as well. But I have quite a few people in my Discord already. I say quite a few people that I know. And be patient with that data. I will get it out and tell you what it means for the day and what we are watching from that setup. Any butterfly trades that we take, I want to be very careful today based on the Treasury. So keep that in mind. And like I said, I will give you the data. You make your decision. It's your trade at that point. Understand your risk reward, and I will help you through that. I'm not just saying, hey, I can't do nothing to help you. I will give you the math behind it and the understanding so you can make great decisions. All right. With that, and as you can tell, today was my kids. I had 6 start back to school today. So I'm a little tired. It's been a long weekend. I stayed up late working on things to get posted. So I'm a little tired. Bear with me. I'll bring more energy later today. I'll get get to the gym, get some pre-workout in me, some caffeine, and get my mind right. But we'll see what the close is at 9:30. So we've got about 40 minutes. I'll be back over there. I will post in the Discord. And let's just see how those results fare, because that's all that matters. Nothing else matters, just the results. Who cares about all your data, Dave? I don't care about it, honestly, unless it produces amazing results. I care about my levels greatly because they already produced results. But what about the data behind the levels? That's what matters, because we want to make money. All right. As always, we will talk soon.